Welcome to Scott High School, the center of the Old West End community. Scott High School was built in 1910 and opened in 1913, making it the oldest school in the area. I did not know much about Scott High School despite living in Toledo my whole life, and I had rarely heard anything about it. I knew that it was from a lower income area, and based on its location being close to downtown, I thought this fit well. I also assumed that the students there would then have a rougher home life than the average. In order for the Scott High School teachers to be effective, they need to not only understand the curriculum, but also the neighborhood around the school. And that's why it's crucial to explore the neighborhood to better understand its culture. So that's why on the 16th of September, we were able to participate in a community walk to do just that. We began at the home of our guide, Mr. Peterson, a man who attended Scott High School as a student and is now part of the staff. By being led by a man who knew the community, we were able to better interact with the community and its people. It gave us a clearer insider view on what the community and the neighborhood are truly about. The neighborhood is greatly characterized by its many community gardens and parks, the first of which we saw featured a sign proclaiming, "We want a safe and decent place to live." A few people take direct care of the space while others simply help out on occasion. Anyone who makes an effort to care for the garden can take some of the produce. One of the other green spaces we saw later on was deemed a certified wildlife habitat. It featured a food forest and a little free pantry. It's meant to be a chill space for the community to enjoy, but also helps to sustain them through nice food donations from other members. Since the community is dominated by residential spaces, it lacks a traditional meeting point. Therefore, the coffee shop Black Kite has become the unofficial spot. Across from Black Kite, the Rosary and Cathedral Parish and School bought the land. It has not been decided what will be placed here, but the decision is up for the community to determine. The school attached to the cathedral is where the majority of children from the area attend for their K through 8 years. As the students are by law allowed to choose what school they attend after this, only 20% of the students go on to attend Scott High School. But this means the students who attend the school actually want to be there. Scott High School has a technician wing which includes a cosmetology department, machinery, and more. This allows for students to follow paths aside from the traditional curriculum. To help the community, Scott has also a health center to provide care for the students. It helps many of the families that lack proper health care and helps to alleviate some of their worries. Similar to the health center, there is also the Cherry Street Mission Ministries Sparrow Nest. This is a safe haven for women in need of a place to stay. In exchange for housing and food, the women do chores and other necessary jobs. The women can stay as long as it takes for them to get back on their feet. The community also has the Grace Community Center, where students can go after school for various programs, such as sports, but much more. Some students from the community even volunteer here, such as Mr. Peterson's sons. Although at first impression the neighborhood around Scott Park may seem run down, the community members work very hard to support each other in any way they can. Even by simply watching how our guide Mr. Peterson interacted with the individuals we passed, you can see how the neighborhood truly forms a positive and giving community. By witnessing how the neighborhood is, it is clear that they face some issues along the lines of social justice. While walking into Scott High School, we even saw a fight breaking out among students who did not actually attend Scott High School, but their older brother did. It's also clear that the students have a rough home life. The school is trying to hold the parents more accountable, though, by having regular meetings in which they go over with the parents the stats and inform them of any issues at the school. This is all in an effort to make the students as much a part of the school as the parents are. From the lens of a Scott High School teacher, the community is one of giving and support. I would be lucky to teach these students, and I hope all the teachers at the school work to understand each of their students. As a whole, they are about progressing and supporting one another. I was surprised to realize that I had actually been at Scott High School before. I didn't notice that until I saw the gymnasium. but I actually played Scott in volleyball when I was a sophomore in high school. I remember the gym well because it was very hard to see on one side of the court due to the huge windows which let in lots of sunlight. My only questions that I have would be, what are the struggles that a teacher faces on a regular basis at Scott High School?